Hey, good evening, YouTube. I know I owe you some videos. I told you I'd do a top 50 on Monday. I didn't do it. I had other plans, I guess. And I decided I'm not going to say what my top 10 is going to be weekly because it's going to change depending on my mood. And for instance, my top 10 reasons why The Office isn't funny. It's hard for me to be snarky or crass if I'm just not in a bad mood. So I think I'll just do several of them, and then whatever I'm more in the mood for, then that's the one that I'll do for the day. But with that in mind, I said I'd do a top 50, but I didn't. I actually did 70. I did a top 70 of my favorite actors / directors, and I actually broke them up into categories too. So here they go. And I already rolled for them because it would probably be like an hour-long video if I sat here and rolled for them. So I already did that. Starting with my top 10 actors, thespians, whatever you want to call them, that play crazy guys. We got Christopher Walken is 10, Randy Quaid, Nick Nolte, Tilda Swinton, Jane Lynch, Nicolas Cage, Steve Buscemi, William Dafoe, Gary Busey, and my top 10 crazy guy is John Malkovich. So these are all actors, obviously, that I love their multiple roles for different reasons. So I could go into movies. I actually keep this list so that I can actually do movies if you want. All right, let's do bad guys next. So these are my top 10. Actually, I wrote down 12 bad guys. Denzel Washington. I think he plays a better bad guy than a good guy, honestly. Dennis Hopper. Ralph Fiennes, or Fiennes. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he plays Voldemort. Javier Bardem from No Country for Old Men. Glenn Close. Danny Trejo. Jack Nicholson. Christopher Lee, Tim Curry, Malcolm McDowell, Ed Harris from The Rock. He plays a brigadier general. And John Travolta for Face Off and Swordfish. Both of those he knocks out of the park. All right, people that played God. So these are people that played God in movies. We have Alanis Morissette, Morgan Freeman, Trey Parker, Val Kilmer, George Plimpton, Graham Chapman, Whoopi Goldberg, Gene Hackman, Charlton Heston, and my favorite person that plays God is Sam Elliott in The Big Lebowski. A lot of people don't know that guy that he's sitting next to that orders the sarsaparilla, he's God. Okay, all-time favorites. We got Gene Hackman, Anthony Hopkins. I wanted to put him for bad guys too, but I just put him in my all-time favorites. Matthew McConaughey, Matt Damon, Edward Norton, Robin Williams, Harrison Ford, Morgan Freeman again hits the list, Alan Rickman, and my all-time favorite actor is Jason Bateman. He doesn't do a bad role in anything. All right, here's my top 10 funniest. Eugene Levy, Mel Brooks, John Candy, Jason Segel, I don't know, it's not Segel, Jason Segel, Kevin James, and if you don't have him as a YouTube channel, check out Kevin James. He's hilarious. He's a comedy genius. Leslie Nelson, Charlie Chaplin, Zach Galifianakis, Jack Black, and Jim Carrey. Here's another 10. Dan Aykroyd, Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy, Robin Williams, Steve Martin, Dana Carvey, Rowan Atkinson. People commonly know him as Mr. Bean. Chris Rock, and Martin Lawrence. I always go back and forth in my head who's funnier, but I think a lot of the genius or the role in Chris Rock or Martin Lawrence. It really depends on who they're playing a role with. Like Martin Lawrence with Will Smith, absolutely one of the funniest Martin Lawrence possible. John Cleese and Mike Myers. So that's 20 top 10 funniest. Let's see, we got... These are my bad guys. I know I have more. Okay, yeah, this is the last one. So these are directors or producers that played a role in their movies. And these are in no particular order because I couldn't decide. John Carpenter in The Fog. Mel Brooks for Spaceballs. Mel Gibson for Braveheart. Kevin Smith for Clerks. Ben Stiller for Tropic Thunder. And I have you know I'm not even a Ben Stiller fan. I'm just... He's really good in that movie, and I just got to give it to him. Quentin Tarantino in Reservoir Dogs. And I don't know if he directed From Dusk Till Dawn, but I really like that role. George Clooney for Michael Clayton. Kevin Costner for Postman. And James Cameron, probably the best director I've ever... I don't know if he played in Titanic, but he went down there as an explorer and filmed that stuff, so I consider that his footage and for him being in it. So, I think that's everything. And I wanted to say, I also have the top 2 actors that have the most range in male and female. The most range for male is Johnny Depp. He can play arguably any role. Just because I like to argue, I really have to say that there isn't something that he doesn't portray. A good guy, bad guy, weird guy. He's just unbelievable in all of his roles. Female, Rachel McAdams. Believe it or not, she's got unbelievable range. And now we have the worst all-time actor and actress. And they happen to be married. I don't know if they're still married. And that's Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner. Just terrible. Absolutely terrible. The only movie I liked out of both of those is I kind of like Ben Affleck in Chasing Amy, but he hasn't grown since Chasing Amy, so he has no range. He's terrible. And he can't even play Batman. So, sorry. And yeah, there's my top 74, whatever. Later, guys.